Hello everyone, me Manpreet. I come back with my videos as I got a lot of calls and comments. So I again started to dictate science chapters. So please, now you should subscribe my channel, like my videos and share as much as you can. Now let's start with today's chapter of class 6th, light and shadow. We all know that it's our eyes that enable us to see and appreciate the very many beautiful objects of different colors and sizes surrounding us. As we know, because of the eyes, we can see all the things. We can admire beautiful things of nature. We can see different colors, size, the things around us. Let us see, however, pause and think whether our eyes alone are sufficient for this purpose. Imagine that we are in completely dark room. Will we find it difficult to see and detect the presence of other objects in the room? Okay, let's see. Can we see anything without our eyes? Okay, imagine if we are in a dark room. Can we see or detect any objects? We are unable to find anything. We are able to do that only when the room is illuminated. It means when there is a light. This means that in addition to our eyes, we need to have illumination or light to see and observe the world around us. It means with the importance of eyes, there is a lot of importance of light. We can see things only with the help of a light. We can observe the beautiful world with the help of light. We usually say that light is a form of energy that produces the sensation of sights in our eyes. Light क्या होती है? It is just a form of energy which produces sensation of sight that we were able to see. The sun is a major natural source of light that emits light of its own. To our earth, we get light from sun. The sun is the major natural source that emits light of its own, that has its own light. Star are also known to emit light of their own. Star has also their own light. Sources of light like sun or stars which emit light of their own are called natural sources. Okay, the sources which emit their own light, that like sun, stars, are all that are natural sources जो हमें light provide करते हैं to our world. Humans have also been able to design and develop a number of sources of light. Ab human beings, there are many man-made resources are also there which provide us light. Light sources like LED, light emitting electric bulbs, tube lights, fluorolight, CFL candle tubes, and candles are all called. These all things are man-made or artificial sources of light. They are also provide us light. They also enable us to see the things around us. These sources help us to see objects or phenomenon inside rooms or at night. When there is insufficient or no sunlight, then we are able to see things around us with these artificial man-made sources of light. So we can see things with the help of natural sources also like sun, and with the artificial sources like bulb, tube lights, and many more. And friends, as we know, there is also one insect, the firefly, that is known as जिसे हम बोलते हैं जुगनू. It also emits light of its own. It is a natural source of light. There are some fishes which also emit, that known as electric fish or light fishes, that also emit their own light. Light and different types of objects. Let us try to see a lighted electric bulb, candle, first through a glass sheet. Okay, when we see हमारे पास कोई electric bulb है, कोई candle है, if we see it through a glass light, then we should observe it through glass sheet. Then we observe it through a cardboard piece, and finally through a sheet of tissue paper or butter paper, that we have to observe electric bulb or candle with different objects. First with the glass sheet, then cardboard piece, then a tissue paper or butter paper. What do we observe? In all these cases, we observe different experience. Let's see what we think, what we observe. The lighted electric bulb is clearly seen through the glass sheet. When we see electric bulb or candle through glass sheet, as we know, glass sheet is transparent. We can see the light clearly. Not seen at all through the cardboard. Through cardboard, we can't see anything because light cannot pass through a cardboard. And only partially through the tissue, or if we can see light through electric bulb or candle, we can see only a partially light. That is, tissue paper and butter paper is something a different thing. We can see only a partially light is transmitted from there. Okay, materials or objects like the glass sheet, water, or some form of plastic that allow light to pass through them almost completely. Material object जिनमें से light completely pass हो जाती है, that are known as transparent objects. We call that object is transparent objects. Or materials or objects like cardboard, wood, metal that do not allow light to pass through them almost at all. Through them, no source of light, no rays passes through them, as they cannot emit. They didn't allow light to pass through them, as we can say cardboard, wood, or metal. These are the opaque objects through which light doesn't pass. Materials or objects like butter paper, tissue paper, and all that allow light to pass through them partially light इनसे pass होती है, transmitted होती है, that is known as translucent objects. So we have three types of object we have studied: transparent, opaque, and translucent object. Transparent object through which light is fully passed, completely passed, that is known as transparent. Example, glass. Opaque object we do not allow light to pass through them, like cardboard, wood. Translucent objects are those through which partial light is passed. Okay, this is a transparent object, glass, through which we can see in the picture. Also we can see clearly other side. Through translucent we cannot see the hand clearly, and through opaque object we can't see anything because it doesn't allow light to pass through them. Okay, there is one activity there, but there is one also activity is given. Let's see what they are written. To demonstrate that light ordinarily propagate only along a straight light path, because there is also written that light also goes through a straight line. Take two equal size rectangular or square cardboard pieces and keep them on top of each other. Take two equal sized, one it is of rectangle shape and one is of square shape card piece, and keep them on top of each other. With the help of nail and hammer, make a clean hole through these pieces simultaneously. उनके between हमें एक nail और hammer की help से we have to make a hole. Put these pieces vertically on suitable stand and adjust their position so that holes on two pieces are along the same straight line. And now we have to arrange these cardboard pieces, that is of rectangle and square, vertically. We have to arrange these so that their holes are in we have to ऐसे हमने arrange करने हैं vertically कि holes दोनों two pieces से दोनों एक straight line में हो, so that light from the other side will pass through them. ठीक है, on two pieces. Now place a lighted candle on one side in such a way that its flame can be seen. अब हमने एक side पर क्या रख देनी है, lighted candle, और इस तरीके से रखनी है in this way that जो light का flame है we can see it. We can see from the cardboard of square and rectangular piece in the same time. That is, light travel in a straight line. The moment we disturb any one of two pieces, अगर हमने दोनों pieces से slightly किसी को भी हिलाया, move किया, then दूसरा frame दूसरी side से हमें नजर नहीं आएगा. This show that light moves along. इससे पता चलता है light हमेशा travel करती है in a straight line. And there is also speed of light. Speed of light, it is 3 into 10 raised power 8 meter per second. ठीक है, there is a speed of light. It is 3 into 10 raised power 8 meter per second. And light always travel. There are 2 points we get. Light always travel in straight line, and speed of light is 3 into 10 raised power 8 meter per second. Okay, now let's study about shadow. As all, we observe shadows when we usually when at night we see our shadows. We all experience during early morning, evening, when we are walking. We are some small children are also sometimes afraid with their own shadows. Okay, and we all have experienced that during early morning or evening when we are walking or jogging the park, something always follow or accompany us. Something is going along with us. It is sometimes longer, sometimes the size of a shadow is longer, and sometimes size होता है हमारी shadow का shorter. Can you identify what is it this thing that keep us accompanying us? We call it वो कौन सी जो हमारे साथ साथ चलती है, that is known as shadow. It is nothing yet, that is known as shadow. Let us try to understand the formation of shadows. अब देखते हैं shadows कैसे बनते हैं. We know that अब as we are also opaque object, हमारे में से भी light pass नहीं होती. We can know that light cannot pass through opaque objects. Hence such objects come in path of a beam of light, then they make a dark region on a screen kept behind them. In these transparent patches that we call as shadows. As we are also opaque object. हमारे से भी लाइट पास नहीं होगी. सो व्हेन वी कम इन बिटवीन द रेस ऑफ लाइट, तो हमारे से पाथ ऑफ बीम ऑफ लाइट एक डार्क रीजन जो हमारी बॉडी टाइप शेप है, डार्क रीजन, और स्क्रीन जो हमारे पीछे कैप बिहाइंड है, वहाँ पर एक डार्क पैच बन जाएगा, और दैट डार्क पैचेस इज नोन एज शेडो. फॉर शेडो फॉर्मेशन we need three important things: a source of light, an opaque object, the screen to obtain the shadow. That is, we have to need a source of object, one opaque object, the screen, that is ground wall जहाँ पर हमें shadow नजर है. Shine a torch over a piece of cardboard or wood. Its shadow can be seen on the opposite. हमेशा always we can say that source जो है one side and उसका shadow opposite side ही बढ़ेगा. साइन टॉर्च को हम कार्डबोर्ड और वुड के ऊपर शाइन करेंगे, वी कैन सी ग्राउंड के ऊपर उसका ऑपोजिट हमें शेडो नजर आएगा. द फिनोमिना ऑफ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ शेडो टेल अस दैट लाइट ऑर्डिनरली प्रोपोगेट्स. हमेशा लाइट ट्रेवल करती है स्ट्रेट लाइन में. अब जब लाइट के इन बिटवीन रास्ते में कोई ओपेक ऑब्जेक्ट आ जाता है, लाइट उसके आसपास से निकल जाती है, एंड देन वी सी द डार्क पैचेस ऑफ दैट ऑब्जेक्ट, एंड दैट इज नोन एज शेडो. शेडोज आर फॉर्म बिकॉज लाइट हमेशा मूव करती है स्ट्रेट लाइन, and it is not able to bend its path along a large obstacle के through light pass नहीं होगी. So the shadows are formed. Okay, see there is also one activity shown here. I can explain you. Sorry. Okay, fix a comb vertically on one side of a large wooden table. Okay, there is a source of light, comb, and it is a table of cloth. What we see, जब जहाँ से लाइट पड़ेगी, लाइट हमेशा स्ट्रेट लाइन में ट्रेवल करती है. इन बिटवीन रास्ते में कोई ऑब्जेक्ट आ गया, वहाँ से लाइट ट्रेवल, जहाँ से लाइट ट्रेवल नहीं करेगी देयर इज ए ब्लैक पैचेस, और जो इन बिटवीन से लाइट ट्रेवल करेगी उसी शेप से हमें दूसरी कॉम, शेडो ऑफ द कॉम नजर आएगी. Fix a comb vertically on one side of large wooden table. Cover the table को close से cover कर लिया. Such a beam of light from powerful torch through the comb से हमने light को pass करना है. What do you observe? What we observe? Okay, what does you observe? Why does every tooth cast a shadow? Okay, कॉम की जो टूथ है वो भी कास्ट करे शेडो, क्योंकि बिकॉज इन बिटवीन देयर इज अ स्पेस, वहाँ से लाइट निकल रही है, जहाँ पर वो टूथ आ रहे हैं वहाँ से लाइट नहीं निकल रही. What do you observe? Why does every tooth cast a shadow? With the help of a friend, pass a thin string through the comb and hold it straight between the hands. Hold the string through the direction of the light rays. Hands observe the direction along which light moves. We can see that light moves, हमेशा light किस move करेगी? Straight line path. When it get, जब उसके ब्लॉक हो गए, कोई opaque object in between आएगा, shadow form होगी. This is because light cannot bend around obstacle. Light obstacles के through bend नहीं होगी. Yes, okay. Next, there is also shown some pictures. In our childhood, we also used to play like this. We also make figures, dark patches, some shapes on wall. Okay, see. Shadows can be misleading at times. They can mislead us about the shape of the object associated with them. The shadows that we can create with the figures of our hand can make us think as if they are shadow of different animals and birds. We make shapes of our hand, or same shadows we can see on the wall, and it makes resemble us some animal, some snake, some bird, resembling like that, and we used to play like with these things. Usually kids used to play like this. Okay, now important thing is characteristics of shadow. The size of the shadow of a given opaque object depend upon the relative position of the source of light. It's important. जो size होगा shadow का size किसके ऊपर depend करेगा? Source of the light. And opaque object that is acting as obstacle depend upon two things: source of the light and opaque object. Shadow of an opaque object is always black irrespective of its color. ओपेक जो इन बिटवीन जो ऑब्जेक्ट है चाहे वो किसी भी कलर का होगा, शेडो का कलर हमेशा क्या होगा? इट इज ऑफ ब्लैक इन color. So we have to learn two important characteristics. The size of shadow depend upon source of light and opaque object, and shadow is always black color respective जो भी color हो object का. Okay, okay. Today we'll complete here. In our next video we'll cover next part of this chapter. Please, I am going to say again, please subscribe my channel, like my videos and share my video. Thank you.